Hello and welcome to Sunday Night here on BBC HD, starting with the treasure trail on the Antiques Roadshow.
Welcome back to our second roadshow from the magnificent banqueting house in London's Whitehall. It's the kind of place that makes your own front room look a bit shabby. This was built as a house of fun by James I in 1622. Dignified fun, of course, plays, masques and state occasions. But the greatest jollity was reserved for a space below where I'm standing. They called this vaulted basement the Undercroft. It was designed as a drinking den for the king and his special friends. The Undercroft. Good name for a nightclub. Young royals, please note. Not everyone came here for wine and merriment. According to long tradition, in the run-up to Easter, the poor would arrive to receive Maundy money and other benefits from their sovereign. Another ancient custom that was brought back by the Restoration was called touching for the king's evil. The theory was that the painful skin disease of scrofula could be cured by a touch of the royal hand. The king wore long gauntlets over boxing gloves. Only joking.
I've never seen so many brooches as you brought me today. Tell me about them. How did all this start?
Well, it started about 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yes.
My goodness.
I was looking for a brooch for a friend, and I looked in the internet trying to find something new. And
you did?
Yes, yes.
How many are there?
I have about 200.
200. In 2 years, that's 100 a year. That's pretty good, isn't it? Now, tell us about the value of these. What are you buying these for?
You can buy something for as low as $5 plus shipping. Some a little bit more. I paid like $100 for that one. But usually they're pretty cheap.
Well, I think then that's a great essay,
affordable.
Isn't it? And I'm very bad at mathematics, but $5 times 200 sounds all right, doesn't it?
I spent about more than $2,000 already.
More than $2,000.
Unfortunately, I keep an Excel sheet with all the things that I purchase, and I can easily add up.
Yes.
And that's sometimes scary.
But they are absolutely fantastic, I must say. And flowers are obviously desperately important in all of this because they've all got separate meanings, the flowers, haven't they? And
yes, we learned a lot about that from watching you in the roadshow.
You did, yes. Well, I mean, certainly it does apply. And here's a pansy flower, which stands for Think of the Giver. And I think it meant that just as much in the 1950s, which I reckon is when that's made, as it did in 1850, really.
Yeah.
And in a way, I brought you to this table under slightly false pretenses. Can you guess why? Because there's a jewel here within my sight that's really a very, very remarkable one indeed. And it's not on the table and it's not on the board behind me, but it's on your neck.
Oh.
And that's one of the greatest reasons to bring you here, is that that's the most dramatically beautiful 18th century, presumably Spanish, gold and diamond pendant jewels that I've seen. It's a lovely one. Tell us about that one.
Well, that one my father bought for my mother in Salamanca, and that was in the 80s. And my parents were in a jewelry shop buying for something else. And the owner told my father that he had something very special that the family had the need to sell, unfortunately, and that perhaps he would like to buy. And they fell in love with it and bought it.
Oh, how marvellous. And because they're very interesting diamonds, aren't they? They're sort of almost steely grey. And they're foiled at the back, they're closed backed, and indeed the steely greyness probably comes from silver foil that's deteriorated behind and has gone black. And it's highly distinctive Spanish work, very rich gold colour. And if we were to shovel all the value of all of these brooches into that jewel, we might not be able to acquire it, would we?
You think so?
I don't think so. No, I don't think you're going to get that for $2,000. Tell us about the value of that one.
I think my parents paid about £350.
Well, I think that's a fantastic bargain. I wonder what it's worth today. Maybe closer to £3,000 today.
Yes.
And a great thing, very difficult to value. You wear it highly effectively. It's a very Spanish look on you, I must say. And have you come a long way to us today?
Yes. My husband and I have come from Barcelona, specifically for the roadshow.
Well, how marvellous, and what a joy to bring it all here, and you've certainly given us a sight that we'll never forget. Thank you very much.
It displays beautifully here. It's just amazing to look at them.
Yes.
I'm proud to be owner of this and owner of this.